everyone, welcome back. Today we got Alex's 2023 Mustang GT. We got a set of headers installed on here, JLT cold air intake, and upgrade some injectors in preparation for him getting a blower here shortly for it. So we got the car all strapped on, about to go through and do the first little bit of run to configure the dyno, get the RPM all set up. I'm looking forward to seeing what this thing makes. It is going to be a flex tune. So this will be one tune for both pump and E85. For a forced induction car, I would not do this, but on naturally aspirated on these, we can definitely make that work for you guys. So let's see what we get here. All right, everyone, here we go for pull number one on Alex's car. Got my logging running. Dyno is got fans today because we're on the right way, a little easier. So we're in gear. Make a rip here. It's gonna be a little interesting with the manual transmission, so I'm probably just gonna record from outside. Well, evidently it was still recording through part of that for some reason. There's the pole. We'll get it from the outside just to give you an idea of this thing. What it looks like. If I can read that, we are starting at 416 and 378. Pretty good. The graph actually looks pretty decent here as far as the power pole is concerned. It is tailing off a bit at the top, so we'll see if we can make some adjustments and get that to pick up a little bit out the back on the horsepower. All right, everybody. On to pull number two. Got our logging going again. We get the video going from up front, not in here, because it's hard to shift the manual transmission and watch all this crap at the same time with a phone in your hand. You really need a headset for this. I will say it's kind of interesting on this thing. Fourth gear, revving it out to 76, 7700. The speedometer was up over 160 miles an hour, so fourth gear pulls in this thing should be a lot of fun. First hit, we made 416 and 378. So we'll see what we can adjust here, get a little more timing into it a little sooner, and see if that picks things up a little bit and carries it out the back. Pull number two. Hopefully you can hear me over the fans. We're up to 428 and 385, almost 386 in the torque. Nice flat lines going across there. It's falling off a little bit between 7 and 75, so I'm trying to see if I can get the cams to carry that a little bit more. Play with that a little bit, and also check and see where we're at. You can see the beginning of the pull of the torque, we're getting a little bit of knock. So you can see where kind of it goes up and down there at the very beginning of that start of it. So I'm going to see if I can smooth that out a bit and see if I can get the variable cams to pull a little bit more. I'd really like to see if I can pull it all the way out to 7,500, about 400 right now. It's tailing to 398 out the back, 7,500. All right, here is pull number three. We'll get the camera from the outside again so you can get the full experience of this exhaust. Last pull we were at 428. Had a little bit of knock in the middle of it, so I was cleaning that up, clearing out my timing ramp a little bit, rolled the cams a little more, see if it'll carry out the back some, but we'll give it another hit here in just a second. Once it all stabilizes, you can see down here, as we're running at idle, you know, my fuel trims are starting to get pretty close to spot on as we go through everything here. So you can kind of see that we got our MAF period set up over here for the logging, so we can start cleaning everything up. Notice it's starting to get more down to zeros. This is what we're trying to do. Once we get that all done, then I'll switch over to E and we'll run it again, and hopefully the flex stuff will work correctly today. Pardon the fans again, but there you can see 3 pulls. I think we're going to end it right there on the pump gas. I was looking at the logs, everything looks pretty good. You can see how it's carrying now through the middle. We smoothed everything out. So as you read the numbers there, we're at 432 and 388. We're not seeing as much issues with it wanting to knock through all of that. It's carrying pretty good right out to 7,500, so we'll probably set it right around there. You know, revving it past that isn't really doing anything. We're just starting to lose horsepower. So if I click this over here, you can start to see where we're tailing. So you can see right there, right, on the first pull, we were only at 387. And then here on the latest one, we're up to 401 carrying out the back. So that's a huge amount that we're carrying at 7,500 RPM, extra 14 horsepower. And you can see here we're carrying just a touch more torque as well out the back of this. And I think if we come right over here is about where we're hitting peak, is right between, you know, the 7, sorry, we're only getting the red line. Hey, when the graph does this, there we go. So we can see that we're carrying 428-ish versus 409 and 426. So again, just little gains, cleaned it up. We're gonna switch over to flex fuel, see what we do from here. So when people ask why I don't like flex logic on Ford, okay, this thing has been running for a solid 5 or 6 minutes. I just turned off on the roller on the dyno to get this thing rolling. It was filled up with straight E95. Sorry, a mix of E98 and E85. Cut this through, and it's still only reading 18% after I've got it running on the rollers. So this is flex logic fun for you on Ford, and why I'm not a big fan. As you can see, the fueling is like, shit, add fuel, because it's lean. Because the damn thing doesn't know where the alcohol percent is yet. So it's learning, but this is like 10 minutes in. It takes a while. So this is why if you do a flex tune, you should never go out and romp on your vehicle right after you switch the fuel over, because the Ford logic is not quick to update. Just furthering my point, I'm now 3 minutes into doing this. I've run it on the dyno 3 times. You can see the fuel trims are all over the place still. It's still inferring we're only at E48. The computer takes some time. So if you're gonna do a flex tune, don't go out and romp on it right after you put E85 in it. Cannot iterate that enough for doing it this way. A long while later, the fuel has finally come up above 70%. We're gonna make a hit, see what we get. We see we're just at 432 on pump. Let's see if the flex fuel logic is kicked in. All right, so first pull fuel change on the flex fuel. Picked up everywhere. Picked up to 446 and 395. So we're gonna take the logs, see what we can do. It's carrying everything. First pull on flex. So it's also still fighting me a little bit on the alcohol percentage, but let's see if we pulled some timing to get it up there, if I need to add a little more. As you can see, my flex fuel has finally responded. Got everything up here, already made 1 rip. Made a little adjustment to a couple of things. And you can see the fuel trims are starting to normalize. So We're still adding a little bit of fuel for the flex, but it's pretty darn close, so I don't want to mess with it too much because then it's going to mess up my pump gas. So we're going to make a rip again here. We get the camera going on the GoPro, which is up there, and see where we're at. First pull on E, we made 446 or 448, so it picked up like 14 horsepower, but it thought it was not quite right for E yet. So this one should be all the timing and everything I specified. Alright, I would just like to reiterate, I'm not a fan of Ford's flex fuel logic. Every time I flash the entire thing, it goes back to 0 on the alcohol percentage, and then fights me for 5 minutes to figure out where it needs to be at. You can see how the fuel trims behave, and you can hear the idle right now. So be very careful of flex tunes. If you flash a tune, the motor is going to need a little while for the ECU and the alcohol content to actually read correctly. Alright, we're making another pull. We added in some additional timing. It seemed to like where it was at in the last one, and actually switched to MBT away from borderline. So my timing ramp kind of stayed a little flatter than I wanted. We're sitting right at 446 still, making another hit, and we'll see if we get this all figured out this time. There we have it. Final tune on E85. That's what it's sounding like now. Should be a full-on ripper. Just made 454 on the final pull. So as you can see, we made 454, 400 foot-pounds of torque. So I'm gonna pull a couple of them off here real quick. So this was our final on pump gas, and the 9th hit there is our final here on that. So 454, 400. Hopefully Alex is very happy with this. I got some good cam timing in here, picked up quite a bit, carried it out almost to 75. Probably set the rev limiter right around 74. Going past that, it's really not doing anything because it's falling down pretty quick. All right guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. We get everything stitched together and we'll call it a day.